of the most effective ways to really reduce stress and anxiety and even feelings of overwhelm is to learn how to access the intelligence of the heart and shift the rhythms of the heart, which sends a different neural message to the brain. So one aspect of our research is really focused on developing simple, practical, user-friendly tools and techniques that allow people to really manage their stress. So a lot of people, probably even today, if you think about it, have had a situation where you were being told to do something or you wanted something, but there was a deeper sense or a deeper feeling that it's probably not the best choice. So that's what I mean by that lack of alignment. And that can really be a huge source of stress for people until they learn how to really get the alignment between the heart and brain, which is where coherence comes in. That's when the heart, mind, and emotions are aligned and working together harmoniously. Our basic research done here at the HeartMath Research Center focused more on the physiology of how the heart and brain communicate. Interestingly, a lot of people are surprised to learn that the heart sends more information through the nervous system to the brain than the other way around. And that sounds like some new discovery, but it's not. This has actually been known since the late 1800s. It's basic physiology. But this is important because the quality of these signals sent from the heart to the brain have profound effects on brain function, our mental clarity, even our emotional experience. So the brain is largely interpreting the signals from the heart to create how we feel. So this is why we focus on the heart so much, because if you can shift the rhythms of the heart, you can quickly improve brain function, reduce feelings of anxiety, stress, overwhelm, and so on. But it takes a different doorway, the heart. So the HeartMath tools and techniques are really designed to shift the rhythms of the heart, which changes the ascending information from the heart to the brain, which is absolutely necessary in order to establish a new baseline. And without establishing a new baseline, we really can't, it's impossible to have sustained change or improvements in our health and our emotional experience. So when we get our systems coherent and have the alignment between heart and brain, that's really when we access that deeper intuition that we have within, inner guidance. So we have a new sense of clarity in a lot of decisions that can seem complex otherwise.
Coherence is the name of the game. The purpose of Alive and Thriving is to bring you may already know about them, as many techniques as possible to do this yourself. What am I talking about? What are we trying to do? We're essentially trying to achieve peace and balance inside of a chaotic world where there's no shortage of distractions. What's going on with me right now? Welcome, everybody. I'm Nathaniel J. I'm the host of Alive and Thriving, and I've made it my life's mission for this next chapter of my life to be of service to others and to propagate graduate level Christianity. This is not an attack on Christianity. This is an acknowledgement that historical practices of Christianity have gotten us X distance, and now I would like to help myself and everyone else that is seeking this for themselves to go to the next stage. That next stage being the embodiment of peace, the embodiment of benevolent power, power that we can use to not only radically transform our lives and live an enhanced experience of life, one that is indicative of joy, of abundance, prosperity, and overall thriving to legitimately become alive and thriving. Now, you may not have any idea who I am. Why the heck? Who the heck is this guy? What is he going to say? Why should I listen to him? When I was fresh out of the Marine Corps in 2014, I went to Naropa University and I studied contemplative psychology. it opened up my mind in such a way that I could hear the small internal voice of God saying, if you really want to master this stuff that you're learning about, you've got to go put it into practice. So I moved to South America. It was a twofold mission: deal with the PTSD that I was experiencing from my time serving 6 years in the Marine Corps and being twice deployed, and one of those being a combat deployment in Afghanistan, Helmand Province, Musa Kala. And second was immersion therapy. I lived with monks and nuns. They were Hindu monks and nuns, but nonetheless, I studied the Bhagavad Gita because there was this person that walked up to me in Boulder, Colorado, as I'm walking down 16th Street Mall, open air, little walkway, beautiful area of Boulder, Colorado. I'm walking with my mom, and a guy walks up to me and hands me a couple of books to choose from. I picked one, and it was a book by Srila Prabhupada, the founder of ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And I kid you not, earlier that day, by about 3-ish hours, I found the Hare Krishna Vrinda Mission in Chakra Imar, Peru, 1 hour north of Lima, a village, compound, if you will, community on the beach in Peru. They were accepting volunteers. So I closed my laptop. I made the mental decision that that's where I was going to go. The next day, I bought my plane tickets, told my mom, Mom, I'm moving to South America. I had literally just gotten home, mind you, from the Marine Corps and had been through only one semester of college. And this is 2014. And of course, to her, this was a shock. She's like, you just got here and I'm leaving again. Life is an adventure, but I'll come back to that. Life is an adventure piece. So I moved to South America. I live with Hindu monks and nuns, and I study the Bhagavad Gita. I read tons of other books while I was down there as well, and I put into practice service to others, where I traveled around and I purchased home food for homeless people. I talked to people about Christ, about God, about consciousness. And I made every single effort while I was down there to strip away layers of my ego. I wanted to have a closer, conscious dialogue with the Father. And that was exactly what happened. There was also some trials and tribulations. I had a near-death experience where I almost killed myself and the passenger of a rental vehicle on a mountain road. I broke my kneecap. That was a terrible experience by landing really, really hard, flying through the air and landing directly on my kneecap. And participating in beautiful ceremonies and collecting food for homeless and feeding them, collecting money to buy the food and then giving that food to the homeless each and every day, and then also using that food to sustain and support my life. When I got done being down there, several other things happened in life, and eventually I arrived to where I am now. I graduated magna cum laude from the University of Tampa in the philosophy and religion department. I finished my degree. I used the GI Bill. I say those things to just lend a little bit of credence as to who I am and whether or not I deserve any of your time. But my credentials and my past are not the point. The point is, what value might I have to you? What value do I have to anybody? To the universe, I understand that I am infinitely valued, and as are you. But to humanity, people that a humanity that desires value for value, attention, that is the question to be answered. Heart-brain coherence. It's a simple technique that costs you nothing. We sit wherever we are in the moment, and we sync up. We viscerally feel the beat of the heart. That travels up the spine, and we experience the pulse throughout the entire body. Doing that practice alone dramatically calms the nerves. Calming the nerves, being in the here and the now, being present, once done repeatedly and becomes a sustained practice, part of your daily life, that is infinitely valuable. But don't take my word for it. You have to experience it yourself. Suffice to say, the science is there. Actual science, utilizing the scientific method, using rigorous testing and repetitions and repeating the results. Coherence improves brain functioning and creates a heightened or an improved quality of life in the subject, you, me, when being practiced properly. The key word here is properly. You have to be in the body. You have to be able to feel the beat of the heart. And you have to be able to focus on the beat of the heart. You have to be able to sustain and maintain that focus. In so doing, you improve cognitive functioning and you experience a heightened state of peace, joy, and if you continue it on long enough, ecstasy. Now, this is not a phenomenon that is unique to modern times. This is exactly what the Buddha taught to his disciples, his followers. How to meditate, how to properly meditate. In the Buddhist tradition, you focus on the breath. And sometimes when you're practicing coherence, that will be your point of focus. You will see that you'll be tuned into the breathing process. And then, if that's the case, you just maintain focus on that. At other times, you'll be tuned into the beat of the heart, and you'll just continuously feel it throughout the entire body. I like to try and feel it in the tips of my fingers or in my hands and my palms and in my feet while I'm doing that. The more you do it, the better you feel. It's been a life advancing discovery for myself. I won't say it's been life altering yet, because as I understand, there is another piece to the puzzle that Alive and Thriving seeks to satisfy. You could achieve wonders on your own, don't get me wrong, but we are able to expedite progress, if this is a linear path, when we team up together. Wherever two or more are gathered in thy name, Christ said, there I am. So what are we talking about when we say there I am? And why don't I say there I am also? Because I don't want to draw attention to duality. I want us to focus on a singularity. I want us to move from a duality, or I encourage the movement away from a duality towards a singularity. But we've got to unpack a few things. And those things are, how do we provide for the body in such a wonderful way that our body is ready and more easily capable of achieving these health promoting phenomenons? Well, a magnificent way of doing it would be grounding.
The forces of nature, no matter how random, gift the surface of the earth with energy. It affects everything. The ancients knew this. I didn't. Living in the Alaskan wilderness was pure physical and mental torture during winter. All that was about to change.
He has made one of the most significant health discoveries of all time.
One man rediscovered a secret.
I have absolutely no pain in my back whatsoever.
And now long term, I don't have pain at all anymore.
I noticed that I was sleeping better. I had a deeper sleep.
I used to not be able to just reach up.
Anecdotal evidence doesn't prove anything.
Nobody's going to believe this. He's not the only person in the world.
We understand that you've created a website called Skeptoid.com.
I can't say I've heard anyone say they have a health benefit.
It would transform my hometown forever.
Penicillin was a revolution in medicine. This is a revolution in healthcare that transcends penicillin.
The Earth knew what the patients needed.
We need to be connected with the earth, which gave us birth.
The thing about earthing, it's such a simple and so profound and powerful concept. And it's right there beneath our feet.
If there is a message at all about earthing, it really is about our connection with nature, with the planet, with the universe.
It would bring a man that walked on the moon to my doorstep.
Is this a wire that's connecting them?
Yeah, it's a wire and then there's a mesh. And it becomes really distinct over time. This poor little sunflower that's not connected starts to wither and wilt. And the one that's connected to the earth is still vibrant and strong.
So you'll entail visiting?
We're here to shoot this movie and basically tell the world about the medicinal benefits, which are absolutely huge.
The Grounded is the name of the.
All 3 of his extra points made. Cancel.
It tried to go to another thing there. Let's make sure. Yeah. The Grounded is the name of that documentary, and you can check it out. Here it is. It's The Grounded by director Steve Kroschel. The movie The Grounded is an independent film featuring the connecting Earth's healing energy. It is the. Did it share? There it is. So The Grounded by director Steve Kroschel is the movie The Grounded, an independent feature film about connecting to the Earth's healing energy. Now, the science, legitimate science, not trust the science, is that our body stores positive ions. When we connect with the earth, when we put our bare feet on it, or we sleep on a grounding pad, or we have one of the bracelets that grounds us, like computer repair technicians wear when they're working on computers, what we're actually doing is we're exchanging positive ions for negative, or better said, we're discharging positive ions for negative ones. What you do there is think of the body like a battery. If we're around electronics devices and Wi-Fi and 5G all the time, then we're wearing rubber-soled insulated shoes. We are insulated from Mother Earth. We're insulated from the ground. That has negative health effects over time, in that our bodies will store up positive ions, which lead to free radicals and inflammation. So if you're experiencing the root of all disease, inflammation, it's coming from too many positive ions in the body. By just simply walking barefoot on the ground for a set amount of time each and every single day, or by sleeping on an earthing mat, here's a couple that I've found here online. Got to make sure that we do that. And go bam. So earthing.com has tons of of these products for your vehicle, for your bed, for your office chair, for just putting around your wrist and wearing while you're at the computer. All of these things have profound health benefits, decreasing inflammation chief among them. I started doing this years ago. As soon as I figured out about grounding, I got this documentary. I bought my first earthing mat when I moved to Florida, and I put it on my bed, and I will never sleep without one ever again. And I have. I've stayed the night over at other. I'm a man. I've slept in women's beds, and they have not had the earthing mat. My ex at her house, she did not have one of these, and the quality of sleep is dramatically less. When you have one of these on your bed, I'm looking over there because I moved my office. I'm sure you can notice it's different from the first couple of live streams that I'm in my bedroom now. Basically, it's a huge bedroom, and it's got this built-on office space right on the side of the bedroom. So I'm using that now for my office, and I'm probably going to be taking on another roommate because financial times are hard. I mean, I know you're out there feeling it. We're all feeling it. So this is my way of like attempting to continue on this path that I've been on, living a Western style life, owning a house, yada, yada, yada. But when I move down here, I won't sleep on anything other than a bed with a grounding mat. So it's been an absolute blessing, and I wanted to share that with you guys. The next thing that we can begin to do, this is something that I do on a continuous basis, is simply pay attention, right? Pay attention to our surroundings. Before I moved to South America, I said, God, that's it. I'm yours. I'm ready to go. I want to know you. Not long after that, I began to notice synchronicities like 333s, 111s, stuff like that on clocks and stuff of that nature. But the real cool phenomenon is like seeing them on license plates, like seeing intentional message that other co-creators, other creators, you know, human beings down here, spiritual beings having human experiences, are putting on their license plates. I've got it. I've got numbers in triplicate on my license plate as a signal to other light workers, consciously aware beings. You're not alone. That whenever I pass somebody, if they are aware and they see the numbers on my license plate, it's a sign. It's a positive sign from God. It's divine right timing, whatever you want to call it. But I digress a little bit. Paying attention. Just paying attention to the heartbeat, pay attention to the breath. Those types of things are ultimately the most beneficial. Got 2 people watching on Rumble. That's good. I've invited somebody to be here live tonight to the call in. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the banner across now so you can see. If you desire to call in, please do. Because the purpose of Alive and Thriving and going live like this is to do Homa Thumadon, the power of 8, or channel 8, as I like to call it, where we send positive intention to a single recipient. If the recipient is desirous of a specific outcome, like maybe you need $1,000, maybe you need $15,000, maybe you want to heal a relationship with a sibling or a spouse or a child, or you want to develop a deeper connection with yourself, with Source, with God. That is what Homa Thumadon is for. Jesus was able to generate that type of healing energy and bring Lazarus back from the dead by himself. So you're able to do it completely independent of anyone's help other than the Father's, other than God's. But before we get to that place, before we go through all of the types of life experiences that Christ Jesus had to live through in order to basically awaken that knowledge of I am the Christ within him, he went through tons and tons and tons of life experiences during the years that are not recorded in the Bible that gave him the ability to then come back to his homeland and begin doing all the works that he did from year 30 to year 33 of his physical life. It didn't just pop up out of nowhere. That's not how human life works. If you want anything out of life, you have to work for it. You have to put in the work. I don't even care that I only have 3 people watching right now on Rumble. I know that within 3-5 years it'll be 10,000, but it's going to take that long. I'm under no delusions that there's going to be some type of viral overnight moment. This is going to be a grind. It's going to be a long haul. So if you're here and you are able to be one of the original individuals and you're able to tune in a couple of years and we're at 10,000, 20,000, like Salty Cracker is currently, like I fully anticipate it's going to take that much time. And I'm going to put in the work. If I've got to sell my house and live out of a Sprinter van and just create awesome content for you guys that is inspiring and uplifting, whilst I do that and save the money that I get from streaming, the little bit that comes in and other things that I can do in sales, because I'm a good salesperson, then I'll do that. But I'm never going back to the 9 to 5. That's the world that I came from. Working for someone else's company, that's not in my DNA any longer. I have to be self-employed. I've been self-employed for the past 18 months, working as a handyman and a carpenter. And the physical labor aspect of that has got me burnt out. I don't care sharing information with you guys. I'm 33 years old and I served 6 years in the Marine Corps, and I've lived an incredibly physically demanding life. I have slayed myself more times than I can count in the gym, in exercise, in boots and utes, in hikes, in deployments, in moving around the world in South, like doing everything that I've done. I'm not putting myself on a pedestal. I'm saying that I'm physically tired and I can't keep doing the work harder, not smarter approach to life. I am here doing these live streams as a part of an overall effort to create goodwill and increase overall the collective consciousness of the planet. It's just my contribution. That's why I'm doing it. So if there's any question about motive, that's it. I'm a light worker. I'm a Christ-centered individual, and my purpose on this planet is to contribute something of worth and value to the spiritual beings having a human experience on planet Earth, so that we can throw off the shackles of this deep state cabal that has fucking enslaved all of humanity since time immemorial. And that's a perfect way to segue into the main body that I want to talk about tonight. Why don't we trust the government? Let me ask you this. If a central bank digital currency was issued tomorrow, would you accept it? Would you adopt it? Would you use it? Would you even have a choice? I know the answer is no, especially with the Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute crowd, because we don't trust the centralized authorities any longer, and rightfully so. Our trust has been so abused and so misused as to walk vast swaths of humanity off of a cliff that we're not going to trust them ever again. Not in their current iteration, not in their current form. Why did we like Trump? Because he enacted policies and did physical work. He produced physical results that benefited the majority of sentient human beings, and thereby Mother Nature and the planet itself during his time in office. Because the fruit of his labor was an overall increase in the objective good quality of life for the majority of Americans, North Americans, United States citizens. The world respected the United States under his administration. There were no new wars started under his administration. And actual money hit your bank account in greater volumes, maybe than in any other time in your life. It certainly was my experience. What do we have now? We've got an overall degradation of life. Everyone is experiencing some form of stress and anxiety related to either literal scarcity that you're experiencing in the physical right now, or the prospect of scarcity because you see on the horizon a looming economic crash. You've got massive monolithic corporations hoovering up immense amounts of our money through inflation and then cost of living increases across every single spectrum. That is why we don't trust centralized authority. Why, therefore, do we trust the oldest form of centralized authority, the quote-unquote church? Why would we trust the original world government? Nate, what are you talking about? I'm talking about the distinction between Christ Jesus telling his disciples and his followers that he didn't come with a message of unity to be a balm unto humanity. No, he came to be a sword separating brother from brother. That is the effect of the truth. The truth divides people. Why? Because you have some that are seeking the truth and who are open-minded. They're like, I know that I don't know. They're consciously unconscious, but they are open-minded and they are ready to move in the direction of knowing. When a person like Christ Jesus comes along and is demonstrating and exemplifying unconditional love, peace, altruism, benevolency, omniscience, that is a man to follow. That guy is doing things allegorically or symbolically like what Trump was doing. He was doing service to others, and people were benefiting from it objectively. So, yeah, let me follow that guy. Let me see what he has got going on. Because the fruits that I've seen from his tree so far, of his labor so far, are sweet and good. Well, what does Christ tell us? It doesn't necessarily say it in the Bible, but that you have to be selfless in order to do the things that he was doing. So, what do we got going on right now? Why are we experiencing the massive levels of inflation that we are? Because of selfishness. The Federal Reserve, the International Monetary Fund, the global Western panopticon of big tech, pharmakia, and big government is all doing things that will objectively only benefit a handful of people in comparison to humanity at large. Then you have a proliferation effect, because this very minor group of people with all of the money, therefore the ability to spend all of that money on R&D, research and development, use that research and the developments therefrom to manipulate the masses into acting against their own best interests. Because if and when they do, it will benefit the minority, the elite. And intuitively, some of us are born through life experiences. We develop our sixth sense, intuition, and we catch on to the fact that those guys, if I do what they say and if I play their game and if I participate in the systems and the structures that they've created, I don't benefit. Or, like a drug, I benefit in the beginning. I feel good feelings in the beginning, but then over time, I experience this grating on my soul at having to do these things in order to play this game, in order to win the prizes that I'm told are supposed to fulfill me. If you've lived through that experience, as I have, then you're ready for something different. You are ready for the manna from heaven. You are ready to be fulfilled spiritually, because the material wealth, the material possessions, the comings and the goings no longer fulfill you. They feel obligatory. They feel forced, because you recognize that the prize that they tell you is gold is nothing more than lead. It's not even gold painted lead. It's just lead. And what the hell am I supposed to do with a ton of lead? Well, we'll tell you, son. Put it around your ankles and take a walk off of a short pier. If you're there, like I am, not necessarily tired of the current paradigm, because I am tired, but I'm not saying that I am coming at this. I'll be completely honest. I am coming at this from a place of disgust with that paradigm, but for the right reasons. Except you can't create a better future and a better reality with the emotions of disgust, with the emotions of disdain. So it's perfectly fine to feel disgust and feel disdain for the Federal Reserve Note, for centralized banking, for the panopticon that big tech has set up to continuously surveil us, and the inflation that we're experiencing, and the degraded quality of life that you're experiencing because your money isn't going as far. That's fine to feel those emotions. Those emotions are the precursor. They're the opposite of the emotions that are necessary to create the beautiful world that our hearts know is possible. Therefore, if we are to get to that better world, we have to begin to feel joy, experience joy right here, right now, 100% regardless of the disgust that we have for the current paradigm. Because it is only through emotion that reality comes to us. Whoa, Nate, you completely lost me. What the hell are you talking about? I'm talking about this. You remember being a kid before Christmas and that anticipation and excitement that you felt about opening presents the next day? Then to wake up that next morning and thrash open those presents and feel the joy. You remember how you felt like you just had that certainty that tomorrow is going to be amazing. I'm going to feel amazing. And then therefore in that moment, you felt amazing, right? It was just a teeny bit different because it was joy mixed with, or it was excitement and joy mixed with anticipation. You're consciously aware, okay, it's not 100% here yet, but oh my God, it's so close. I have no doubt that I'm going to live it. I'm going to taste it. I'm going to freaking frolic in it. That was what my brother and I did when we were real little. We'd freaking frolic in the wrapping paper. It was the most magnificent experience, right? Combine that with grandpa being there, grandma being there, mom and dad being there, being in love with all of those people, then getting the physical manifestation of their love and seeing the joy on their face, and then freaking running over to them and giving them giant hugs and being loved on, and all the cameras are rolling. And then the food flies out and the family starts showing up. You get to put on some nice clothes, and now you're freaking running around with all your cousins playing Nerf gun wars, and it's just the most fucking goddamnedest, beautifulest day ever. And I'm sorry for dropping the GD bomb, but I get excited thinking about those beautiful memories because those are the types of memories. Those are the types of emotions that are necessary for the generation, right? We are generating these emotions. Those are the types of emotions that are necessary for the generation of the reality that we want to live, of the life experiences that we want to have. You've got to literally be able to suspend disbelief and just get into the clothes you want to wear now. Clothes representing the emotions that you're going to feel once you have the bazillion dollars, the fast vehicle, the beautiful house, the beautiful spouse, the beautiful family, the dog, the golden retriever, the cattle farm, whatever it is that is your version of an amazing life. Step into those emotions now, and the easiest way to do it is through Homa Dawn. It's by coming together and focusing collective attention on a single point of mind, the recipient in this case. And then strictly via the act of 8 people focusing on the same thing at the same time, you actualize the teaching of Christ wherever 2 or more are gathered in thy name. There I am also. But Nate, if we're gathering and we're focusing on like a gold bar, not a gold bar, a person who would like to receive a gold bar, how does that have anything to do with Christ? Because Christ and the Buddha, one and the same, are perfect, unending, unbroken, unfettered, unwavering focus. By becoming synonymous with what Jesus is doing right now, by doing what he is doing right now, you take that next step into being one with the Father, Mother, God. Verily I say unto thee, whomever stands before me sees these works that I do, not only shall thee do them, but greater, for I go unto my Father, Mother, God. The early disciples, the early church, if you watch The Kingdom on Netflix, not promoting Netflix, I'm saying The Kingdom, the show, even though it's on Netflix, they do a really good job of depicting a medieval, ancient church where people actually did what Jesus taught, where they prayed in silent, in unison. This was the Benedictine order. This was the prayer of silence. This was what made all of the monasteries throughout England so rich and wealthy in both spirituality and material wealth. It's what made Constantinople such a flourishing place on the planet Earth. Because they were praying in silence. They were unifying their individual points of consciousness with the Father, Mother, God. It's why Tibet was such a hotbed of spirituality, of people literally learning how to levitate and place their hand through a boulder and walk through walls. because they were doing things that actually worked. They were following the teachings of people who had actually been there, actually done it, and were perfectly instructing them on how to do it for themselves. If I can do it myself, you can do it yourself. I can hear Christ saying those very words, speaking through Sky Harbor, the band, in the song. I think it's Kaikoma. Or can't remember this name of the song off the top of my head. God works all things for good. Every single thing can be used as an avenue, as a channel, as a telephone line into your individual point of consciousness, into mine, into collective consciousness, for God to speak directly to us. Check the waiting room over here on Zoom. Let's see. Waiting room. My meeting now. My meeting. Started. Do I have anybody in there? I thought it showed one person waiting, but I don't see that anymore. Yeah, we're already started. It's now. On meeting. Waiting room. I don't see anybody in the waiting room. And not the world's best Zoomer, but nonetheless, the Zoom meeting is on the bottom there. Passcode is 777777. The call-in number is there, 646-558-8656. If there's anything that you're going through right now, if there's anything that you would like to have help with, call in and we will channel some love to you. Otherwise, I'm going to start to wrap it up because this is going to be a slow grind. This is not a sexy topic. I'm fully aware of that. This is for the people that are trying to level up their spirituality, who are trying to come at this global situation that we're experiencing via a different avenue of approach, angle of attack, a different trajectory than the one that we've been given. Yeah, I'm going to vote next year, but I'm honestly dissatisfied with just being told that that's my only real avenue for recourse in a petition of grievances against my government. I'm appealing unto heaven over here, George Washington style. Dixie Belle, yes. Been cleaning out her shop. Awesome, Dixie Belle. Well, thank you so much for dropping a chat, letting me know that, I see that there are 3 people watching, but I see your chat there. So hope that shop cleaning out is going well. It makes me think of the time that I cleaned out my grandfather's shop in Nebraska. He had Alzheimer's, and he was going downhill fast, and he dealt with it for 7 years, and I got there in the last 10 months of his life, and I helped clean out the entire shop, his entire property, his entire 40 acres for that matter, and it was an overall wonderful experience to be able to provide that service for him in the last 10 months of his life. So I thank everybody for being here. We've got 5 watching now. Not enough to do Home with Umadon. If we get 8 and then we get a caller, then we can. I'll read this to you here. So share this. Angel number 311. Am I sharing? Yeah, we actually got to go to this first. Angel number 311 brings a message from your angels to keep your thoughts positive and bright, because you are currently in a position where your thoughts and expectations are manifesting at a rapid rate. We create our realities and life experiences with our thoughts, beliefs, and intentions. So make sure that you focus and concentrate on your desired outcomes and results and on what you truly want, rather than on what you don't. Angel number 311 is a reminder that the energies and the vibrations you project outward are reflecting back to you. Listen to your intuition and follow your own inner knowing in all that you do. Keep your focus on your heart center and your divine path and life purpose. Look to ways to use your natural communication skills and joyful disposition to uplift others, and have the courage to live your truths and express yourself with love and optimism. In the words of Peter Drucker, the best way to predict your future is to create it. Why 311? Because that number showed up in a very specific place for me today, right as I woke up. It was the first number that I saw today. So, and it wasn't 3:11 p.m. So, Dixie Belle, anybody out there, have y'all ever noticed synchronicities like that? Have you experienced overwhelmingly immaculate timing and something that you just couldn't, you're like, yep, that's 100% something that I can't explain, but I have this feeling that it has meaning? Well, that's what that was. I'll show you another example of that happening to me today. So let's pop this up here. Yeah, and then share this tab. And then I'll zoom in here. Thought this was a cool little thing. Getting aggressively humiliated by women. Oh, freaking gotta show it over here. Hold on, sorry about that. Boom. So yeah, Cody Premer, I don't know, this was just a YouTube thing. I look up over there and I see it. And the synchronicity is that it's 1 minute and 17 seconds long, and he's earned $11.70 posting that thing 1 month ago. So pretty cool. And I just noticed this too. You got 63638 down there at the bottom. But yeah, a little unique thing there. Let's check out this one. So go back here and whoop, pop that on there. Yeah. So Tommy's podcast. Make sure that that's showing. All right, show this tab. Tommy's podcast 20 hours ago, but episode 333, sponsored by Pfizer. And it's 11 hours, 22 minutes, and 20 seconds long. So 11:222. So that type of stuff happens to me all of the time. I see signs like that, and hopefully you do too. Hopefully I'm not alone in that. I know that I'm not. I have tons of people in my past that experience these types of things. So hopefully you have as well. All right, going on 5:53. So don't have anybody. I don't think I have anybody in the waiting room. Let's take a look here. And I don't see anybody in the waiting room. So, yeah. Everything's down there. If anybody wants to jump in, they can. And if not, we're going to keep on rolling. Conduct meetings. Okay. So nobody's in there yet. That's fine. It's going to be a slow grind, right? Hopefully I'll be able to provide more value to you as time goes on. But if you just kind of joined in, some of the things that I've shared tonight are why heart-brain coherence is so important from the HeartMath Institute. That is the practice of focusing on the beat of the heart in order to feel it physically in your body, or focusing on the breath, laying down in your bed and doing this, or sitting in an upright position and doing this. Hopefully you're doing it right now. That's kind of the point of the podcast too. I didn't mention that, but to come, tune in, focus on the beat of the heart, close your eyes, feel the beat of the heart, focus on the breath, and then experience the benefits of the peace that comes from doing that for yourself. So if you weren't aware of that practice before, now you are. Now you can implement it. Now it's a tool in your toolkit, and you have a place from 5 to 6 on Sundays where you can come and do that with other people. And then wherever 2 or more are gathered in thy name, there I am also. Also shared the benefits of grounding. Why does grounding work? Our improved understanding of energy and scientific interest. Oh, I gotta remember to do this. our improved understanding of energy and scientific interest in grounding benefits has led to a better awareness of how simple techniques like walking barefoot or wild swimming energetically affect the human being. It looks as though the ancient concept of universal energy flow, interaction, and synchronicity might not actually be far from the truth. All matter, including us as humans, is made from atoms. These microscopic particles are made of an equal number of negatively charged pairs of electrons and positively charged protons. Therefore, an atom is usually neutral and balanced. If an atom loses an electron, chaos can ensue for our cells, which are made of atoms. There are many factors that cause atoms to lose electrons, including, let me go to the actual page, pollution, alcohol, tobacco smoke, heavy metals, transition metals, industrial solvents, pesticides, certain drugs, and radiations. So, by actually engaging in grounding, says modern scientific research has begun to prove that grounding benefits are abundant. A systematic review of evidence and clinical observations advocates for the use of grounding techniques in healthcare, emphasizing how it is often overlooked as a therapy that requires minimal effort by patients. These recommendations were made based on several research studies reporting that grounding benefits extended to physical, mental, and emotional outcomes. A recent study suggests that disconnection from the earth may be an important and overlooked factor in our current epidemic of inflammatory-related chronic diseases. This research presented evidence that grounding benefits include reducing pain, improving immunity, reducing inflammation, and promoting wound healing. An earlier randomized double-blind pilot study agreed that earthing benefits the inflammatory response and circulation. They concluded that even just 1 hour's contact with the earth could promote healthier nervous system control of bodily fluids and peripheral blood flow. They suggest that grounding may improve blood circulation to the face and even optimize our appearance and skin vitality. Many experts now believe that earthing benefits psychological well-being too. The practice is supported for improving low mood and post-traumatic stress disorder because of its influence on the nervous system, and is being investigated for a range of mental and emotional disorders. Our sleep cycles and body clocks might also be directly correlated to our synchronicity with the earth, according to molecular research. The study also found that grounding benefits extend to cortisol secretion, which is the hormone driving our chronic stress response. These findings were echoed in a later review that found empirical data to support that grounding benefits also include relieving muscle tension, relieving muscle pain, relieving chronic pain, improved heart and breathing rates, reduction of primary indicators of osteoporosis, improvement of glucose regulation, and improved immune response. So there are 6 ways that you can experience that, and it's through nature therapy, walking barefoot on the ground, lying on the ground, find some geodes, stones or pebbles, and put them in the bath or a basin of water to soak your body, hands, or feet in. You can also try your favorite grounding crystals. I'm actually totally going to do that tonight because a bath sounds amazing. The next time you throw an eco-friendly garden party, make it one without footwear so that you and your guests experience maximum earthing benefits, and go cold water swimming in natural bodies of water, or install a natural swimming pond instead of a pool if you want a facility to swim at home. So I don't know about you, but I'm not going to be installing a pool anytime soon, but I have that grounding mat on my bed. And I'm going to show that to you now. So let's go back over to here and then go to this and share this tab. Earthing. This is not the exact company that I bought my earthing mat from. For whatever reason, I search the internet and I can't find the company, but they're literally the company that invented the darn thing. So maybe they changed their name. But yeah, the Earthing Elite pillow cover. This is the only thing that I don't have, and I really, really do want the actual Earthing Elite pillow cover. But the Earthing sleep system is what I have on my bed, and I fall straight to sleep every single night. I've never slept better in my life than since I've owned earthing mats. They facilitate a quality of sleep that is so regenerative that I wake up at 4 in the morning most days and I'm good to go. Like, I have to get out of bed. It's kind of pointless for me to try to go back to sleep. My body's like, no, you're good. You got this. Like, let's go. So another really great benefit to health are taking cold showers. There's a dopamine release that happens if you do that first thing in the morning, or really at any point. And we're all about trying to feel good here at Alive and Thriving. So I encourage you, if you want to have a little bit of an uptick in overall quality of health, take yourself a cold shower first thing in the morning. And last but not least of what I have shared tonight is The Grounded, One Small Step for Man, One Giant Leap for Healthcare by director Steve Kroschel. So if you want to check out the actual full documentary on the grounding phenomenon, just go over to YouTube and it is streaming. Oh, you actually didn't see that when I did that. Let me actually go to here. Yeah, The Grounded by director Steve Kroschel. You can go check out that documentary for free on YouTube, and hopefully it'll be on Rumble soon. You know what? I didn't even search it on Rumble. So 3 watching now. We ain't going to hit our number tonight. That's fine. We'll keep it going. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Nathaniel J. for Alive and Thriving. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Namaste.